Hi everyone, welcome. I am Dr. Toni. So glad to share today with you this Q&A that I think will be both brief but really powerful because it's a conversation that's relevant to a lot of folks, especially if you are someone in the entrepreneurial workspace or in the business ownership type of field, of frame for your professional life. It's a very vague question that I received. And I typically don't do questions that are super vague because I want to be as precise and specific and clarifying in my answers as I possibly can be. So when questions are more specific, I can respond to them more specifically. But because this one is one that comes up for so many of us so often, it's one that I want to quickly touch on in a way that I think is going to give us both insight and questions to think about within ourselves so that we can clarify what direction we really want to go and what's really meaningful for us about this. All right, ready? Here's what they said. Mindset on your own value to your clients. And so what they're asking me is, how do I address this mindset challenge that I have about the value that I can offer to my clients? And that can play out in a number of ways. Maybe it plays out as some version of imposter syndrome, and it affects the pricing, or it affects the marketing, or it affects your openness, comfort level, and willingness to share about your offering, your service, your product, whatever it is that you share with the world, that you want to share with the world to contribute. And I wanted to do this one because here is probably the single most impactful piece of the puzzle for me that makes the mindset difference around the value that I offer to clients. Here's what it is. You ready? I am not being rejected or shut down when a client does not want to work with me or I don't want to work with them. If someone says that it's not a good fit, or if I feel like it's not a good fit, it's not because of rejection. Instead, it is because of repelling. And repelling not in a negative sense, but repelling because we're not a match. Very different than, oh, this person, doesn't want to hire me because I don't have X, Y, or Z credential, or no one's looking at my stuff that I'm posting on social media because no one cares what I have to say. Or maybe if I took another training or got another degree or another certification, then people would actually want to hire me. Or everyone's going to think that my pricing is too high, so I can't change it. Or whatever, There's so many thoughts that can come into our minds and affect our mindset around the value that we offer to clients. And it can look so many different ways for each of us. But the reality is that beneath all of that is that there is a fear that we're not enough, or a fear of rejection in some way. That typically is the case, right? There's a fear that we're not enough, or there's a fear that there's going to be some kind of rejection in some way. And those are both human fears that we all experience in some capacity in our lives. It's some with more intensity, some with less intensity, some with more frequency, some with less frequency. But we've all experienced that fear of not feeling good enough, or, not wanting to be rejected, or worrying that we might be rejected for some reason or another in our lives. We've all experienced that in some way. And so when it comes to a mindset around the value that we offer to clients, a shift that makes a difference if you believe it, right? You can't fake or force this, okay? Can't fake or force mindset work, y'all. Cannot fake or force mindset work. It's got to be real. It's got to be something, a thought, a belief, a next step in thinking that is close enough for you to grab hold of. Not so far away that you're like, oh, I should believe it, but I can't. It's such a far reach. Like, that doesn't work for mindset work, okay? So if this fits for you with where you're at in your journey around knowing, believing, and owning that you have value to offer your clients, then what you can take with you here is this. I'm not being rejected. It's not because I'm not good enough. There is repellent that is happening. Not rejection, but repelling. And that repelling is a great thing, because I don't want to work with someone who's not a good match for me. Nor do I want someone who's not a good match for me to work with me, because it's not a good fit for either one of us. And so what I see is it as a blessing when I can feel, when I can sense that it's not in alignment for whatever reason, then I'm able to offer some other resource, some other referral or recommendation that may possibly be a good fit for them, or a better fit for them, a potential fit for them. I'm still able to offer something that feels true, meaningful, authentic to me, from me, to the best of my, to the best of my ability, based off of what they've shared. Even if I'm not the right fit, even if there's repelling that's happening, why try to force something that is not a match? Right? That cliche saying that you can't put a square peg into a circle hole, right? Like, why? No, let's not do that. Let's be okay that, right now I have a circle hole and that is a square peg. We are not a match. That's okay. That is a-okay, because there's someone else out there for them that's a better match, which means they're going to get more of what they need, more of what they want, more of what is within an alignment with what they are seeking or needing in their journey from someplace else. And if I were to try to force that upon me, it's gonna suck. Like, it's not gonna feel good. It's gonna be a lot of friction, a lot of tension. It's gonna be bumping all along the way in an unnecessary, right? Like, sometimes we have bumps in the road, of course. There's gonna be like unnecessary bumps, right? Lots of added stress that's not necessary. I'm so glad that there is this natural repellent that happens in life, where when it's not a good fit, personally or professionally, when it's not a good fit, it falls to the wayside. I'm okay with not forcing it. I allow it to not be a good fit. And I'm okay with that. I don't make it mean something bad or wrong or not enough about me or what I can contribute. Take from this what resonates most with you, what feels true and authentic to you and for you, with whatever it is that you are navigating in your journey, personally or professionally. If there's some fears about not being good enough or being rejected in some way, you are not here to be just a value to other people, okay? And I know that there's we could go through a lot of all of the background around that. But we are here to meaningfully connect, to meaningfully contribute in a way that feels purposeful, joyful, right? Passion-filled, as best as we possibly can. And so you're not just here to try to deliver value to every single person that walks by. You're here to own and to claim who you are and who you want to be in this world, how you want to show up in this world, right? Whether it's through your personal life or your professional life. And to do your best to align with that on a daily basis. Because when you do that, you naturally connect and contribute in a meaningful way. Connecting and contributing in a meaningful way, in a way that is of value, of service to others, it's not something that you have to force and force and force. It is something that when you come into clarity about who and how you truly, deeply want to be, to show up in this world, and you allow that to be the focus, then you will naturally, with more ease, with more clarity, with more confidence, fall into place, into the flow of connecting and contributing with people in your work realm and outside of your work realm in a much more natural way. So if you want to share your questions, it's free, it's anonymous. You can go ahead and click the link below in the description section. You're allowed to submit as many questions as you want. I certainly can't guarantee that I'm going to be answering every single question here in video, but I am going to be going through and reading every single inquiry that I get. Personally, I will read them. And those that I believe are going to be of the most impact to those in the audience are the ones that I will read here and I will answer here in video format in our Q&As. So I'm so thankful to those that have submitted Q&As so far, because it allows me not just to be of support to you, of service to you, but to others who have similar or the same questions that you've shared. Thanks for joining us today. If you haven't already, go ahead and push the subscribe button. Share this with anyone that you think will benefit. And until next time, have an amazing day.